Hello, I am Eduardo Choa, President of California State University at Monterey Bay. It is my pleasure to welcome friends, families, supporters, faculty, staff, and graduates to this ceremony. Each of you has impacted the CSUMB graduates we celebrate today. We thank you for recognizing their achievements. CSUMB's founding vision calls for developing a community where we all learn and teach one another in an atmosphere of mutual respect and inclusive excellence. At CSUMB, we have watched these graduates demonstrate this learning, teaching, and mutual respect through work with faculty inside and beyond the classroom, with service learning in our communities, and with staff throughout various endeavors. CSUMB's graduates cultivate a path of being independent thinkers with the ability to innovate through curious and persistent inquiry. A CSUMB degree is a testament to that work and initiative. Graduates, whether you are the first in your family to attend college or part of a lineage of higher education, your achievement is your own. Never forget to dream big and bold and boundless. As Nelson Mandela said, when you let your light shine, you unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we celebrate your accomplishments at CSUMB, we look forward to the bright futures for each of you and for the positive impacts you will have in our communities. We look forward to your personal achievements and your ability to continue your work as valued leaders in our global society. Congratulations.
This is Lydia X.C. Brown, they, them pronouns. I'm a youngish East Asian person with short black hair and glasses. I am sitting in front of a brick fireplace and wooden wall. Congratulations on surviving and finishing for the class of 2021. You should feel proud of everything that you've accomplished. And I also hope that you know and understand that you are worth so much more than what appears to be an accomplishment or an achievement or a line on a resume or a transcript. The last year has been one of the hardest ones for students everywhere. Children, college students, graduate students. I've heard from my own students over the last several months, this spring and earlier in the fall, about just how awful and overwhelming things can be. And I've also witnessed and been part of so many networks of care and campaigns and community-based projects to survive, to resist, to have the audacity to claim space and presence, to find worth and value in one another, especially in a world that teaches us that we are broken, that we are wrong, for existing in the world the way that we do. I remember when I was in college, I spent 4 years trying and failing to get the right accommodations that would support me. I had one professor tell me that I shouldn't bother trying to study a language, which was my major, because of my disability. I had staff from a study abroad office tell me that they didn't think that I would necessarily be successful. By the time I got to law school, things hadn't changed much either. The professor who was responsible for managing disability accommodations suggested that because of my disabilities, I might not even be cut out to graduate from law school or to complete it at all. I graduated from college with a 2.8 GPA and from law school with a GPA equivalent of 2.2. And a lot of people might look at those numbers and they might feel bad for me, or they might feel awkward or uncomfortable. But I am proud of those numbers because they represent not just how hard I worked, but that I managed to fucking succeed in the face of a system that taught me that success could only be measured according to very specific and arbitrarily defined norms and expectations. A system that expects us all to move at a certain pace, to demonstrate knowledge or achievement according to very specific assessments and evaluations, and to be able to prove our worth based upon accomplishments, based upon labor, based upon productivity. In the last year, we have all undergone a collective crisis. We have been experiencing collective trauma. And for many of us, that trauma has been worse, compounded by living in a world where we have to deal with patriarchy, with white supremacy, with anti-immigration violence, of living in a world that teaches us that for so many reasons of what we look like, where we come from, what our voices sound like, what we believe, who we are, that we are not fully human. And for us as disabled people, all people who have all kinds of disabilities, we receive that message beginning when we're very young, throughout our lives, about both ourselves and others. That to have a disability automatically means that we are less than. And in academia, it is so easy to internalize that message, to believe that if we cannot achieve perfect grades, we are not part of honor society, that we are not part of particular associations, we do not have certain opportunities, then that somehow means we are a lesser student. And for some of us, we internalize that message and we respond to it by overcompensating, by destroying ourselves in service of the perfect GPA, the most rigorous major, every possible fellowship, research assistantship, internship, or other accomplishment added to a growing CV. And for others, we internalize the message and we struggle and we fail. And for others, we've experienced both of those realities. At times, appearing to be the brilliant, shining scholar, and at other times, struggling to feed ourselves, struggling to read even one chapter, one article for the night, struggling to meet deadlines, struggling to be heard, to be seen, to be understood. My hope for you, as you are leaving college now and moving into the next phase of your life, is that you remember that you are worth it, that you are worthy, that you have earned today, that you know that you deserve to be here, that whether you've left here with a 4.0 GPA, or you were like me, you had a lot of C's and D's, or perhaps even worse grades appear on your transcript, that you are not defined solely by your intellect, your knowledge, your academic aptitude, or what other people perceive as your academic aptitude, but that you in fact deserve respect. You deserve dignity. You deserve humanity, kindness, compassion, empathy, and solidarity. You deserve to live in a world where you are valued and honored for who you are, not despite who you are. You deserve to live in a world where you can study and work in ways that work with your body and your mind, in ways that work for you, that play to your interests, your strengths, your passions, who you are as an individual, and the communities from which you come. That you deserve a world where you can be held and witnessed with love and with care. The world you are about to enter will not always offer you those things. Sometimes it will be harsh. Sometimes it will be cruel. Sometimes it will be unspeakably violent. That does not change that you deserve so much better than what this world will sometimes offer you. But this world will also sometimes offer you unexpected moments of grace, of kindness, of warmth. Rejoice in those delights. Embrace them. Offer them to others as you can. And know that wherever you go, whatever you are struggling with, whatever possibilities and opportunities await you, the things that are old and going away, the things that are new, you are not alone. You are infinitely worthy. You are valued. You are loved. Congratulations, and wishing you all the best.
Brianna Adame, BA Psychology. Jessie Annette Almada, BA Psychology. Emily Milan Beasley, BS Statistics, cum laude. Marissa Nicole Bonney, BA Humanities and Communication, summa cum laude. Maggie Contreras, BA, Collaborative Health and Human Services, summa cum laude. Mireya Davison Diaz, BA, Collaborative Health and Human Services, magna cum laude. Lisa Marie Fuentes Lopez, BA, Humanities and Communication, summa cum laude. Tamira Zane Gallarid, BS Biology. Michelle Annette Guzman, BA, Collaborative Health and Human Services. Rebecca Grace Harbison, BS, Kinesiology, cum laude. Dawn Heading, BA, Collaborative Health and Human Services, summa cum laude. Emma Holmes, BA, Social and Behavioral Sciences. Julie Hurtado, BA, Psychology. Diane Catherine Kunkey, BA, Liberal Studies. Sarah Nicole Leff, BA, Liberal Studies. Maite Lopez, BS, Collaborative Health and Human Services, summa cum laude. Zaida Lopez, BA, Psychology, magna cum laude. Ramon Lucindo, BS, Computer Science, cum laude. Sofia Magana, BA, Humanities and Communication, cum laude. Noelia Moya, BA, Collaborative Health and Human Services. Sarabi Joanna Ochoa, BS, Kinesiology. Adam Ernest Ortega, BA, Kinesiology. Raul Padilla Jr., BS, Biology. Maureen Cynthia Pascual, BS, Kinesiology. Tiffany Elise Katsuko Leilani Shigenica Juarez, BS, Marine Science. Kathleen Simmons, BA, Humanities and Communication. Anthony Bernard Tapas, BA, Cinematic Arts and Technology, magna cum laude. Kenneth Townend, BS, Collaborative Health and Human Services. Adriana Vieira, BA, Human Development and Family Science, cum laude.